Okay, so today I mostly just wanted to look at the general market. 96 coming, no, but probably not. There's a very, very low chance we actually get 96k. Today I just wanted to look at the market in general. Wanted to look at some tickers because we are seeing something very interesting happening for the first time in a really long time, where Ethereum and BTC are finally kind of desyncing. Like when you look on the right, BTC is down 1%, Ethereum is up 2.5%. And this is really good in general for the market, because that means Ethereum BTC is finally doing well. Now, we have a monthly close coming up, and that monthly close, in my opinion, will dictate a lot. Now, when we look at the monthly close, we're not deleting anything, right? No, okay. Yeah, monthly closes today. For some reason, I always think the monthly close is on Sunday instead of Friday. Yeah, because it's like I mean, it's just at the end of the month, right? Because for some reason, like end of the week should be end of the month as well. Okay, but anyway, what I wanted to say is, in general, I think this monthly close is very important. What we want to see is we want to see at least a monthly close above this level. Well, we're probably getting that. Preferably, we want to see it above that level, above the wick right over here, which we're probably getting as well. Now, what we're probably not getting is a close above this level. Now, in general, this monthly candle is pretty good. This is not necessarily a bullish candle, but it isn't a bearish one either. Because you did wick the top of this and you're about to close below. But this isn't a swing high, right? This is just a previous candle high. And this is about the close engulfing. Having a monthly engulfing candle is something that, in general, usually results in a sizable move. For example, let's look at this one. Bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing. Let's see. This is the only one where it went bullish engulfing and then went down. Apart from that, these types of candles net really good moves. So being able to close this candle engulfing, bro, no, that is not that. What's it called? So being able to close a candle like this is very good in general. Being able to close a monthly candle engulfing is really good. Because essentially what that says is, hey, this monthly candle might have closed pretty bad. We had a really large wick to the upside and then a red close. But even though we did that, the next candle is actually closing engulfing. So the next candle, not only did we close green, we also close even above where the previous candle opened, which is a really good sign. Now, something else you might want to look out for is, let's say we take this wick. What's it called? It's closing above the middle of that. This is not something I personally look out a lot for, but being able to close above the middle of this is really important. Which might happen, might not. In general, I'm pretty happy with the monthly close. Unless we all of a sudden start going below 96k, I think the monthly close is pretty good. Yeah, it was good. It's good, Rio. So in general, we have a monthly close coming up. I don't think it's super interesting. It is like slightly favoring upside, but it's not that special, right? So I wanted to mention, yeah, we have the monthly close coming up. New month is coming in. But I don't think a lot is going to change. I don't think this is going to change a lot. After all, we are still in a daily uptrend. We are about to close monthly engulfing. We are still on most time frames in an uptrend. You can only make an argument for a 4-hour downtrend, but even when you go above that, it's already a bit futile, right? So I think the markets in general still look pretty good. Now, the last time I said that, let's say I said that an hour ago. Okay, so this is the last time where I said that. But yeah, I still think the markets look pretty good. Overall, this just looks like we're about to retest this area. because we kind of left without a retest. We can add one retest, but in general, looks like we're about to retest this. The markets look decent. I don't know what this candle's coming from. Probably some random news event. It still looks good. Now, what is more interesting is what's it called? Is the Ethereum BTC chart, the Ethereum dominance chart, and in general the Ethereum chart. Yeah, I think just this is just a liquidity grab. I do. You probably won't. Okay, let's go on a perpetual chart, right? When you're gonna go into a perpetual chart, you're probably gonna see some really, some really sudden moves. I have a volume one. No, you're probably gonna see candles like these, right? Where are the wicks? Wicks like these. This is probably what we're gonna see at the bottom, and then it's gonna go back up. Because in general, this is probably just us taking out this liquidity, or we're gonna play a little fill the wick with the news event. Because news events always bring a lot of liquidity, right? And a lot of people that just market long and those kind of things. Because they see green numbers and they just market long. So there's a good chance that this wick has a lot of stops all across it. From people putting their stops break even or putting it below the wick, etc. So I think we either sweep this or we retest this area. So if you want to look for longs on this, I would probably look for anything on this wick. I'm personally someone that really likes just playing for a liquidity grab, but anywhere on that wick could be good for retest. And when I look at it, we also have a bat. Yeah. So we also have a bullish bat, kind of lower than that, but what's it called? In the event that we do go lower, in the event that we do get 101k again, this would be a pretty good level to look out for. Let me just draw it out real quick. So in this case, what I'm looking at is 224 starts over there. In this case, what I'm looking at for this bat is whenever, what's it called? For harmonics in general, whenever you have this kind of M shape forming, so whenever I look at a chart, I always look for M or W shapes, right, for the harmonics. So in this case, see a very nice M shape right over here. So you can just kind of place the tool over like this. You just place your X, A, and B, and this, in this case, aligns with a bat. A bat either has an X to B that is 0.382 or 0.5. So by doing that, we know that this D point is going to be somewhere at 0.886. So in general, even if we go lower, I think this is the place where you reject. Now, if that's going to be in this candle, like if you just keep nuking, I wouldn't actually take that long. Because that would be like really extreme price action, right? If we just keep dropping now, that would be quite extreme. If that is the case, I wouldn't actually look for a long. But if we kind of get down there over, let's say tomorrow, for example, or we get a little liquidity grab over here that closes above, they could probably take a long base on that. I think in general, this would be a really nice spot to look for longs, something like that. And considering that on nearly every time frame we are still uptrending, where I would consider this the swing low, right? I don't consider this a swing low because it's my B point. Considering we're nearly uptrending on every time frame, I would just take it up to the next high. So it's going to be either here or over here. So yeah, I do think that's just a liquidity grab. It's probably just the results of that news event. The results of just having really good numbers as a catalyst. Because there's probably a lot of liquidity and a lot of longs all across that wick. So I think we're looking for something like this. And if I measure this uptrend, it's here. Should I put it on this one? Yeah, if I measure this uptrend, what's it called? You're gonna have some. No, okay, these are not actually in confluence. That's sad, okay. Just 1 minute. Just taking it from the, from the low to the high we just created, you would have a very nice fan on top of that bad PRZ right over here. So yeah, I do like this idea. Okay, but in general, what we wanted to go for, or what I wanted to look at today, is I wanted to take a look, for the first time in a very long time, at Ethereum dominance. Now the reason why is because Ethereum is finally outperforming. Why does the chart stop? Oh no, wait, it's loaded like that. Ethereum is finally doing something nice where we're seeing a reaction of the lows. Now, you can argue for liquidity grab. I don't think that is the case necessarily, but it is a really nice level to hold. But in general, we have a few levels over here. So first of all, we have this bullish harmonic right over here. And on top of that, we have the wick that I showcased earlier. The wick that I showcased here on the left. That we're kind of starting to hold. Now, hitting this area initially didn't net us like a really big reaction. But now that we are coming back into it, that we're coming back for a proper retest, and actually test to the bottom of that, as you can see, now we are getting a really good reaction. And on top of that, we have closed the previous 4-hour candle above both of these wicks, essentially breaking our neckline and breaking structure. This reaction at the bottom of the PRZ, followed by closes above the previous highs, this is a really good sign of strength. This is essentially just price action telling you, hey, not only do we accept above that butterfly PRZ, but the lower time frames are also accepting above the previous high. That is price action telling you that, hey, these are your first signs of reversal. These are your first signs of, hey, maybe we are starting to get a bounce. Which is why we're seeing such a strong bounce on altcoins this weekend, right? It's because BTC dominance is tanking, it's because Ethereum dominance is going up, and ETH is finally, finally putting in some proper performance. ETH is finally, ETH is still green. It's finally green on a day where BTC is red. This hasn't happened in a very long time. And this obviously goes paired with our, our BTC chart. Now, in general, this chart is sketchy. It ignored the initial Gardley and is now looking at the deep Gardley. We're getting a good reaction, but this chart is still... Everyone always tries to call the bottom of this, right? So I try to stay away from it a bit. But this chart also still looks good. BTC ripping down. Is it that much lower already? I think it's charted on this, right? No. I think we can go lower. I think we probably just retest this at least. Okay, now today, I wasn't necessarily looking at at the general market. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to go over a few tickets you guys have and look at general areas that we think can overperform. So, for example, if we think Ethereum is going to perform, what's that? White House has 25% on tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and 10% on China will go into effect tomorrow. Is that where we're getting the dump from? I think that could be it, but it doesn't matter that much, right? Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, that could be what we're getting the dump from, but I don't think that's going to keep mattering for the markets. Where's the DXY? Yeah, there's no way if tariffs make us dump. I assume that this is where the news went out. Okay, so if this is where the news went out, then essentially we're seeing a dump because the dollar is increasing in price, right? Which to some extent would make sense with the tariffs, even though in the long term it doesn't make sense at all. But luckily we have Trump as president now, which is very bad for the dollar because he really likes printing more dollars. And as you might know, printing a lot of dollars is not actually good for the strength of the dollar. So this this dump being caused by the DXY going up because of the news is probably not actually that bad. It kind of supports the idea of it just being a news-driven flush. Because in general, with the money printers back on, it's really hard for the dollar to actually stay in an uptrend. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to look at some tickers. I wanted to start looking at some sectors in general. Start looking at general sectors, and then we're going to see what area we think is going to perform best. So if you guys have anything in mind, put it in chat. Put any tickers in chat, and then we can start looking at some. Bathhouse. So okay. Let's take a look at Say first. Brett. Yeah, look at Brett. Okay, so in general, with Say, now that we have actually lost this daily uptrend, because this has been our daily low in the past, right? Say had a very easy bullish argument for it, where the moment we broke above this high, you were very clearly uptrending, with this being your swing low. That Say actually broke below and started closing below this low is a major sign of weakness. That is something I really didn't want to see, because this is essentially telling you, well, if this coin is actually bullish, if this coin actually has a lot of demand, why did we close below? Why could we not hold the previous low? So, in general, I think Say is in a rough spot, because breaking this low actually puts you in a daily downtrend, which is really not something you want to see if you want Say to go up. But apart from that, Say on a macro level is in a really good spot. When we're looking at macro, Say has a very, very easy M shape right over here. That, wait, let me put it, it's called, just keep it on the daily. Is that lower? No, okay. Say has a very easy M shape over here, and starting at that 1.618 is exactly where I bottomed out on the chart. Now, these types of M shapes always have two areas, with the second one being that 786. So let me draw this out entirely. What I am looking for now is this. When we draw this harmonic out manually, wait, I forgot one. When we draw this harmonic out manually, what you can see is this. We have a few areas where there's absolutely nothing. When we look at this area, there's absolutely nothing. There's a pure gap right over here. When we look at this area, there's just a gap. However, when we look at this area, this one, and this one, we see a lot of fibs in the exact same spot. These are essentially harmonics, these areas. These are the deep points of harmonics. So Say is currently trying to reclaim this level, and this is a cipher. If we manage to properly reclaim this, that is going to be your first actual sign of strength. Now, we have one daily close above it. Our current daily candle is retesting it, but we haven't closed this above yet, and we still need a third one. Whenever you look for breakout and retest, we always look for 3 candle closes above, of which one is actually a retest candle. So until this area is actually flipped into support, which it looks like we're doing, right? But we don't have confirmation yet. I wouldn't be looking at Say. Once we do, I think Say is really good for longs. But for that, we first have to prove it by flipping this area to support. Sui looks nice, touching the demand zone, and fly. Okay, we can look at Sui as well. So in general, I would be looking at this, per se, but you would have to flip this area into support first. If we don't, for example, if this daily candle closes below, now let's say the daily candle closes like an inverted hammer, right? And you kind of get a daily close over here, which is slightly red. I think if that's the case, we probably get a rejection, and you could be looking for short lower. Because in general, this chart is now in a daily downtrend. So being in a daily downtrend makes it a lot easier to short. And you could probably short it just to the next fib or to the next cluster. So in general, if you don't flip the support, I would look at something like this. This is the area I'm looking at. Say is at a very important area at the moment. The thing that I just don't like about Say is that we should have really stayed above this. Staying below it is just a major sign of weakness. Is that kind of the thing? Like, yeah, I want to believe that Say goes higher. But if it was actually going to go higher, then why did we not keep this low? Why were we not able to stay above it? Yeah, but I should have defended that area, exactly. That's the thing, because I am someone, I really like Say, right? I have a lot of Say from over in this area. We bought a lot of Say over in this area. I was posting about it every other week. And I really like Say. I think Say is a really big contender. I think the chain is fundamentally stable and really good. But the chart is not showing it anymore. The chart was always supporting this idea that Say was like a really good spot. Say looked really good. Yeah, these macro harmonics all in the same spot because there's a bunch more. There's a deep crab over here as well, for example. And there's a bad, what's it called? No, it's not a bad, there's no bad. But there's a lot more like this, right? And then we had the uptrend, etc. This looked really, really good. And everything supported that this chain was really good, that the coin was really good. But this isn't good. This is really not good. This is kind of proving that, hey, maybe this isn't true. So yeah, we should have definitely held that area. Okay, we have Sui next. Sui. The last time we looked at Sui, we were looking at it over there. Sui is this coin that we always look at slightly too late. And the reason I say that is this. We have two harmonics here. The first one being this one, which is an ABCD. So in general, for those of you that don't know it yet, one of the harmonic patterns, and no, I haven't gone through Fartcoin yet. One of the harmonic patterns, and this is one that is actually based off of traditional technical analysis, is this one. Where essentially what you're saying is if we have a move in one direction, and we take the distance of that move, and we go the same distance again, then this is going to be a very important level. This is the level that we've used as support the entire time. That is its ABCD. If we now go back to this level, and we give this a little retest, I think this is going to be really nice for shorts. However, it's going to be a bit difficult, right? Because at the same time, you would be looking for a retest short, but we do have to close this candle below it. Because if you close this candle above, you're going to essentially have an SFP or liquidity grab. Okay, but either way, let's give it another look. So on a higher time frame, there's not that much right over here. On a higher time frame, what I can see is essentially this one. Barely didn't touch it. I would have to put it over here. It's a bit sketchy, but technically this is your first strong low, so technically it should be valid. Now what I can see, if we do validate that X point, is this level. When we have an X to B that is 0.5, we either have a bat or a Leo. So we either stop at the 786 or the 886. So drawing that out manually, we'll get it to look like this. But we can see a very nice cluster right over here on that 786 to 1.618. So this is the first level I'm looking at, right? Now the second one is what we're currently flipping into support. Let me hide this harmonic as well. And that's this. The pattern I described earlier on the ABCD, where if you go, what's it called? If you go and make one price leg down, so in this case from A to B, and you make that same price leg down again, that is going to be an important level. That is what we are currently trying to flip into support. So essentially, by coming back down to this area, we're gonna know what price action wants to do. If we if we keep this retest, stay above it, I think we go higher. Because essentially you can also argue for this being an important level to shift. But in general, I think if we keep this level, we're gonna go higher. Now if you start breaking below it, we're probably gonna get the Leo. So this is a very important level for Suri. This is probably gonna decide if, hey, are we actually going to go higher, or is this where it stops, right? If we now start dropping back below that $4 level, then I think we probably get the Leo. So in general, I would not take any longs here, because this candle close really doesn't look good. We didn't take any liquidity, and we don't really have all too much here, instead of apart from a demand zone here. But there's a good chance it reacts here. However, if you do get a breakdown and a bearish retest, I would look for shorts. And I think looking at this chart, looking at this candle reaction, I think shorts are favored, but you would need more confirmation. Let's see, do you have any volume confluence on top of this? I think the PUC is going to be down there as well. I don't know. I would not take a long on Suri. I think I would wait for this Leo. I think you get lower. I think you either get this point of control or you get the Leo. So he has an amazing entry at 3.4. Wait, let's see. Wait, before I do that, let me zoom in real quick and give the screenshot. Look at EPT on the 1 hour, it looks strong. I agree. EPT looks really good. I genuinely think this is very exciting, by the way, for the market. Because okay, let me say it again for those joining late. The problem that Ethereum has is that it is weak. Like, it is really weak. Ethereum doesn't do anything. When we look at Ethereum, when we look at a chart like this, Ethereum just hasn't done anything. This isn't even all-time high. All-time high is up there. While BTC has gone up. What is it? BTC has gone up 60% from its all-time high price already. Ethereum hasn't even broken it. Now this is bad in general, because, well, you want Ethereum to be strong because you want to be able to trade altcoins, right? However, this is also pretty good thing for us right now. And the reason for that is that this has been going on for so long that so many altcoins have hit very important macro levels and have done so a while ago already. They tapped their important levels, made a new structure high, some of them even broke the 80 structure, then came back down to the same levels again. A lot of altcoins are currently at those levels. Let me take Atom as an example, right? Well, when we look at Atom, it's an old chart. When we look at Atom, we had a very important low right over here. We deviated below this initially. We took out all of this liquidity, right? Everyone that had their longs here for some reason got stopped out. Deviated below it, traded below it for a little bit, came back up, made a new structure high, right? This is a new swing high. And we're now reclaiming this level of support. We're not only trying to confirm this deviation, but a bounce here would be your first higher low, And your only structure high to take out is that newly created high over here. This one is a lot easier to take out than the high we have over there. So even though Ethereum has been performing horribly in the past, it has led to some really interesting charts. Charts like these, where you wouldn't even want to touch Atom in this range, now look really interesting because this is such a low risk area to bid. And a lot of coins have this. A lot of coins have this thing where we're now tapping very, very important levels again. And especially when we look at Ethereum, we have so much higher to go. Ethereum's harmonic targets haven't even been touched yet. Ethereum's harmonic targets, almost every harmonic trader has it. Ethereum's harmonic target is up here. Ethereum's first actually macro bearish harmonic is over here at 6k. So even if we close the weekly like this, preferably we do close above that 618 right over here, right? But even if we close it above, even if we just close it at this, Ethereum finally is showing strength is really good for the markets because altcoins are such good entries. They have so much upside left. And Ethereum is there to support it. Ethereum still has a lot to go. Okay, let's look at Filecoin for our boy in chat. The chart from previous stream. All the leader fella. Okay. Essentially, Filecoin is actually at a really interesting spot. Are you in a long or a short? Hope you had a soft sell. Okay, I see. Yeah, I assume he's in a long. Okay. What we said last stream essentially was we're either gonna bounce here, or bounce here. We deviated below. We have now reclaimed this anti-shark, and we're coming back for another touch. This is essentially your support level. You probably want to rephrase that. Okay. I'm glad I'm getting your hopes up now. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. You should probably rephrase that, but that's good to hear. Do you share the fib level so I can screenshot this one? Yeah, right there. Okay, so I assume you're in a long. I don't think this is a bad area to be in a long at all. In general, if you see a good reaction here on a lower time frame, this would be an area for longs. Because when looking at this, we have, I'm gonna make the time frame slightly lower to show what I'm talking about, but it's a 4-hour structure. We have a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high, and we're now looking at the same area again. This is a bullish Quasimodo. This pattern. Essentially what this says is, hey, this is a lower time frame structure shift. And on top of that, we're doing that on top of a very high time frame harmonic. It's a very good level to do so. So doing that on this area is really interesting. This is a really good area for longs in general. I think the safe long would be to enter like this. I think this would be the safest long. And these would be the TPs. I would take TP1 over here, the 214, TP2, the 382, 618 to 786, just like that. But in general, if you confirm a really good reaction, you can probably get away with putting it below this wick. Once you actually start forming a bottom, once you start forming a bottom right over here, you can probably get away with this. But the long I'm going to put in chat, just for the sake of people that didn't actually watch the stream that look back in chat, it's going to be this one. So not only do we have that bullish Quasimodo, But in general, I also just really like the way this bottom is forming. Because you just, between the first low and the second low, you have this bullish divergence. And after that, you didn't even go into the oversold area, right? You're not going all too high, which indicates that, hey, this is not like an extreme high. This is just a high we put in to break the structure. This looks very healthy. Oscillators on this chart look very healthy. They have harmonics past the current all-time high for Fartcoin. There's always one. Let's assume this is the bottom, right? If this is the bottom, then you have an ABCD like this. This is a 0.9416 harmonic level, so we're going to go to 1, what is it? 1059, something like that. It's slightly below it, so I'm just going to use a trend-based Fib extension 1. It's going to use this one. So there's always one. You can always get higher targets if you want to with harmonics, because ABCDs are rather easy to draw. You can also get higher. I'm not going to draw this one, but you can also probably draw an ABCD like this, right? You can always get higher target if you want to. Now for 5-leg harmonics, I don't think I have anything. As for 5-leg harmonics, let me remove all of the brushes. As for 5-leg harmonics, I can get some anti-patterns by doing this. You do have an anti-crab over here, but there's nothing really above all-time high. There's only an anti-bat. Right over there. I have like one. I wouldn't count on it too much. These are really sketchy. If you want to actually get harmonics that go above all-time high, what we would have to do is put in a proper B point first, somewhere over here. Somewhere at that 618. Grass jinxing the market. Yeah. Tim, do you wanna guess where I said that BTC looks good? Or that the market looks good? Yeah, you're always short. I'm convinced you're so short like 10 times a day. Just getting into the same short over and over again. I wouldn't count that as an SFP. But yeah, yeah, explained why. Okay, but in general, yeah, this is what I would look at for Fartcoin. I think what's it called? Us being able to properly close candles above this level, like actually making this second high, that's a really good sign. So if you get a successful retest, I would look for a long like this. I'll put it in chat, right? Fartcoin one, yeah. That's it for Fartcoin. Okay, where we have bread. I think I have a bread chart. Yeah, that already didn't hold. How about the anti-shark? The anti-shark is holding. Remove that. Yeah, that makes it easy. I just had to enable this. I just didn't draw the what's it called? The anti-shark last time. It's like that. I think that looks good in general. I think it's a good looking chart. And I think it was one of my students. I think it was Chris that also showcased our back at this area. And I think you did as well, Ahmed. Was it like that? No, okay, I think it's wrong from this area. Or something similar. Either way, we are getting back at this old Gardley in a bit. I don't think it was this one. There has to be something over here, right? Yeah, but there's something over here as well. It is yeah, it's this one. Wait. We're back at this area as well, where we seem to be rejecting it. So yeah, for bread, I would look at this in general. I would stay and look at this anti-shark. That is a bit difficult though, because you are in an area where we should be putting in a bottom, but there are no divergences to be found. So I have no idea if this is actually going to be a bottom. Because the RSI just looks like it wants lower. It's nothing special here. There's a good chance that once this starts going lower again, that's actually going to do the same thing as WIF did, and either stop at this low or at this low. At this point, unless we get strength, I would just wait for any of the swing lows to get tapped and close above, and get that on it. Yeah, I would wait for a bullish reaction on it first as well. This chart is downtrending too heavily to actually look for knife catches. This isn't a chart that kind of looks strong, right? Sometimes you have these downtrending charts that do look really good. I think Bonk is one of them. Like, this chart looks good. This chart is downtrending, but you are seeing, like, you have important levels that are getting tapped, and you get really strong reactions off of it. Like, you tap it, get a reaction. Tap it, get a reaction. This is a strong chart in general. This is a downtrending chart, but this chart will eventually reverse. That's what this chart is telling you. Now, when we go back to bread, we can draw all of the areas you want, but look at this. We kind of front run it for that catch bounce that we just close below. We have like whatever this is, and we just go lower. We have a small reaction at the anti-shark, and now we just go lower. This doesn't look good. These charts look very, very different. And that one drawn up and didn't take it. I mean, that is not a bad long. I mean, that's my conclusion as well, right? If you really like this coin, this is an area to look for longs. But I don't know if I would. So yeah, for bread, I would just wait for one of these. Wait 1 second. This chart reminds me more of WIF than anything else. Because when we look at WIF, we had something very, very similar happen. WIF looked really weak. We had like this kind of consolidation area over here, and we had a really good reaction at the bat. But WIF in general looked pretty weak. Until we tapped these lows. Now we did close below, so I didn't take this long. I was looking at it, close below, didn't take it. But you get a really strong reaction off of it. This is what I'm looking at for bread as well. I think this is what's going to happen on bread. Because in general, when we have really weak charts, these are the levels you wanted to react on. Where you have these kind of wick clusters over here that never got tapped. And you just see wicks into it and reactions off it. That's what you want to look for. If you have these really weak charts, essentially liquidity levels are all you can bank on. Because even harmonics or fib levels are going to be rough. Because a lot of them they don't necessarily get ignored, but you're not going to get your confirmations anyway. Liquidity levels are more likely to get reactions. Yeah, and spot moves off of these levels are insane. Because this only looks like a very small move, right? But even taken from the candle close, that's a 30% move. That is a lot. So you don't even need to get into that with a lot. You can just get in spot with a small amount. Because especially with below $1 is below a billion market cap. This coin is sitting at a billion market cap right now, like something like that, which is ridiculous. WIF is not a billion market cap coin. It's like 60%. Yeah, if you take it from low, this coin ran a lot. It's 40%. Well, lucky. But yeah, for these kind of coins, you don't necessarily need a lot. What's it called? You need to get into it with a lot to make a lot, because these coins just move really violently. Quick maps. Yeah, I mean, I have the advantage of just being able to abuse these tools. Okay, did I miss a request? I don't think I did, right? Okay, in that case, I wanted to show you guys what's it called? I've already shared pipe. Let's see, we didn't get the entry trigger right yet. I don't think we did. Where's Pipe? Wait, am I blind? No, it's over there. No, I didn't get it yet. Still waiting. This is good though. Going back to flip this diagonal into sport. Okay, in any case, something else I want to show you guys is e5. And I wanted to show e5 for two reasons. One, it is an Ethereum battle. And two, this chart looks really good. Last time we entered this coin was when we flipped this area to sport. And what we did is we added when we got when we flipped this to sport. I'm looking at almost the same play again. I think this chart looks really good because we're still at the old area, right? Without actually breaking the daily low. This level is still intact. Now, when we zoom in a little, we are forming bullish harmonics on the exact same level. We're forming bullish harmonics at the bottom of that previously important level. So likely after the stream, I'm going to get into an e5 call as well because we're actually getting the flip. I wanted to give this as a stream play, but we're getting it right now, right? So I'm probably just going to give it as a call. But in general, I think e5 is a really good coin to put on your watch list for a few reasons. One, it is one of the only like airdrop-ish coins that actually managed to break out of the consolidation range and broke proper structure. Like we took a proper high. And we're looking to do the same thing again now, right? We're looking to flip this bat into support again, and then do the same thing again. I'm likely just going to get into the same small position again. Enter light, add when we flip this to support. And two, it is an Ethereum battle. If we assume that Ethereum is going to outperform for a significant amount of the cycle, or if we assume that, hey, we think Ethereum BC looks really good, we think Ethereum dominance looks really good, Ethereum battles should be high on the priority list. And this is one that moves really violently, that moves really hard, and has a lot of upside left. The higher time frame harmonics don't start until 4.7, which is really good in general. This is one of those coins that has really high targets. Been waiting for the EFI call. Yeah, we probably will get one. We'll probably get one soon. It kind of depends on how these candles close. Because you kind of want this to close above this candle close. You don't want this to close as a bearish engulfing candle. But in general, yeah, I'm looking at EFI for sure. Probably gonna get into it like this. Something like this. I really like this coin for some reason. But we also, I mean, what's it called? The calls we get on it have been really good. So I really like trading this. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see what BTC is doing. Are we there yet? No, we're not. We had a 618 fan. Okay, what other coins are we looking at? You have some more suggestions. I think I've got, what's it called? I think I've got a few coins left for me and then I want to stream. Still, Fall Coin. Why are you looking at Fall Coin? I mean, you know, I like a coin, but ooh, this looks bad. This looks really bad. I'm gonna be honest. It's on my watch list. My bad, probably. Okay. Looking at this coin, I see two things. First of all, we're below the point of control. That's not good, but we're pretty far away from it, so it shouldn't matter too much. Now, what does worry me is that we are below the B point on this bat. We're below this B point, and we range here for a bit. This isn't bad per se, because this indicates like, hey, maybe you are going to break out of it. Consolidation here isn't bad per se. Now, what we did when we formed this range is we formed the bottom of the range candle close-wise and made this really nice bullish engulfing candle right over here. Let me make it a a bit more clear that this is not just going to be random marks. Wow, that's ugly. Okay. Then make it like this. We had this really nice bullish engulfing candle right over here. And this candle has acted as support so many times. You can see a few touches over here, touch over here, touch over here, all touches over here. Consolidation at support, right? Consolidation at support in a downtrend is not what you want to see. Now we broke below it, and this candle looks bad. We're coming back for a bearish retest, and this candle is a very textbook doji candle, which is an indecisive candle. And an indecisive candle on a bearish retest is really not what you want to see. If this rejects like this, if the daily would close like this, you have a very good chance that this is going to be high and this is your short. Where we take it, probably up to the day that 6 right over there. You take a main TP on a lower time frame. Or take a TP over there. And a TP over there, for sure. So to be honest, Phil doesn't look that bad. But it only looks good for shorts. Something like that. That's what I would look at. Now, that does require us to close on a doji like this, and at the very least, close below this breaker block. So this is pending a daily close, but this would be a nice play to take. I might actually take this if we still have a lot of long exposure open. This will be a nice hedge, and in general, a good short. Because this is just a very clear structure break, right? Had consolidation, broke below it, broke out of the range, and now we're barely retesting it. I think this is good for shorts, this coin. I would wait for the close. If you get a bearish close, I would take it. And then, if we actually get to this level, I will be buying a lot of fill. If we actually get to 340 fill again, I'm going to be getting in as well. Yeah, that candle was going well until BTC dumped. Exactly. This, what's happening right over here, is Bitcoin's doing, essentially. So I will say, taking these kind of shorts after we just saw significant signs of strength from Ethereum and from altcoins in general is a bit more risky. But even when taking that into account, altcoins are still downtrending. They are still downtrending. Most of them still broke their range and are now bearish retesting it. So even if they have looked stronger for a bit, that has only been one day. You have a lot of data that suggests, hey, maybe altcoins keep going lower. So setups like these are very nice because you can short while taking spot positions. Depends on the time frame, but yeah. If we go on, for example, on hourly, the hourly is uptrending. And this dump hasn't hurt the uptrend either, right? Low, high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, potential higher low. So alternatively, what you could also just do is wait for like a structure shift below and then a retest. Because yeah, the 1 hour is still uptrending as well. It's a bit risky, but this is a good area to look for shorts. There's also okay, what's it called? I'll teach you guys a trick. A little trick for how you look at what coins are strong or not. Let's look at a few coins. I want to look at Sol. And we're going to look at ETH as well. And we're going to do so like this. BTC pairs. No, BTC pairs is the one that a lot of people actually know. I have a different one. So if I reset both of these, what we see is this. Both charts have a consolidation range. Right over here and right over here. However, these are different. These are very different. Where Ethereum broke out after this, started going up, retested it, went higher. This range over here started going up, retested it and went higher. Solana hasn't managed to do so. Solana was in the same area. BTC did the same, right? There was the same news. All of those things. Solana did not manage to break this resistance. Well, Ethereum did. And I'm just using Sol and Ethereum because I know that these two have this difference right now. Whenever you have these periods where BTC does nothing for a bit, or altcoins do nothing for a bit, consolidate, and you start seeing signs of strength or weakness, you can compare altcoins like these to see what is strong and what isn't. Because clearly, right now, Solana doesn't have a lot of demand. Clearly, right now, when we look at it, this is Solana's range. Just grab your range high, you just grab your range low. That is where Solana is trading. Ethereum does have a lot of demand. Because when we draw the same range on Ethereum, we have not only broken out of it, we have retested it, and we have completed the retest and went even higher. This is a really big difference in which coin is strong and which one isn't. So now when you start looking for longs, it would only make sense to long the strong coin out of the two. When you start looking for shorts, you want to look at the weak one. So let's say we go higher now, BTC reaches a very important level of resistance. We will short Solana because we're still in this range, and by then Solana will likely be at the top of this range. If we want to look for longs, because for example this dump continues for a bit, right, and we get down into this demand zone, well, we're going to long Ethereum. It's that simple. A lot of times during markets you will see these kinds of differences between individual coins. This is going to tell you what is strong and what isn't. And in this case, especially because it's Solana and Ethereum, Solana being weak means that we will likely not be looking at WIF or Popcat. We will likely be looking at Pepe instead. Or instead of looking at Jupe, we might want to look at Uni. Ethereum being strong means, hey, maybe LDO, ARB, or ENS or OP, or someone like that is going to look really good. And then when you look at it, I don't have a lot of Sol coins on my watch list, right? The Ethereum pairs are mostly green. On the Sol list, both the DEX coins are just completely red. There's minus 5%, minus 7%. This doesn't look good at all. Well, this looks really good. Even if LDO just being up 12%. GTO shouldn't be that green either. No, it's only 2%. Put it in there, put it into perspective. GTO, the liquid stake, the staking token on Solana is only up 2%, while Ethereum staking token is up 12%. This difference in performance is visible when you compare the two coins. When you compare them and you look at the ranges, like what are they doing during the same time, this is showing you the difference. Because yeah, you can look at a BTC pair, for example, but coins with a lower market cap are always going to look better on a BTC pair for the reason that the percentage moves are bigger. If you just look at it on the watch list, well, the percentages are going to be bigger. If you look at it on only a recent level on the BTC chart, the moves are always going to look bigger. When you compare the two, this is going to tell you an entirely different story. So whatever I do when I look for strength is this. This is what I do. I compare the two. So that's it. That's it for my little trick. And you don't have to do this by putting the side, right? I'm just doing that for the explanation. This is why it's really nice to have a watch list like this. Because what I actually do is, when I look at it like this, when I wake up in the morning, right, I would just kind of spacebar through this, see what coins are doing, and I'll see, hey, some of these have broken that range, some of them haven't. So for example, this EFI coin, I mean, literally just, we should have honestly just longed it. Just long it like this. But either way, when you just spacebar through this, for example, OP, I don't care about OP anymore. If I'm looking for longs, I'm not going to look at this. Because I'm spacebarring through it and we're still in this range. So I don't care about OP. If I want to look for shorts, I'm going to look for LP. But then I look at LDO, I'm like, well, this one looks really strong. If we get this retest, and LDO is long gone, right? This is an extreme example. But if we get this retest, I might want to look for longs. So yeah, I do recommend doing that. When you are in situations like these, look at the strong coins by just looking at, hey, where are they? Look at coins like this one, where Link, hey, it broke out of the range. This is a good coin to long now. If you think the market bounce here, Link is very interesting. Just because of market structure. Okay, we had ENA. Now, I'm going to look at the ENA macro chart first. Oh, that looks good, actually. That looks really good. That retest looks really good. Okay, when I look at the ENA macro chart, I'll look at this. Essentially, this bearish deep crab right here has acted as support a bunch of times. If we go on to a lower time frame, it acted as resistance first. We got into it, flipped the bottom to support, went higher, flipped the top to support. Had a little touch over here and a good reaction. We went below it, but we're currently deviating below it. If we manage to properly reclaim this as support, I think ENA looks really good. However, until we do that, until this is flipped to support, right, until this is actually confirmed, so this would, in my system, not be on this candle, but at least the next daily candle, any 3 daily closes above. Until that happens, this is a downtrending chart. Until that happens, you have your low, you have your high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Until this is properly flipped into support, I will, and even then, right? Because if this gets flipped to support, we can look for scalp longs. But even then, I'm expecting a lower high. Because this, in the end, is a downtrending chart. And it's almost the same thing as I said with Say at the start of the stream. I do want to believe that ENA is going to go a lot higher. I do want to believe, for example, hey, Trump is buying this. That is really good. Maybe he's going to keep buying. It's going to keep going up. But if that was actually going to matter, if those things actually mattered, why is this chart downtrending? So I don't look at those things anymore, right? So in general, until proven otherwise, this is a downtrending chart. So, using that logic, I want to look for shorts. I'm going to go onto a lower time frame. I'm going to look for shorts. So let's do that. Let's look for shorts. Let's see if we have any harmonics. Okay, so first thing I see is a really nice low, low, high, low, right? This is a really nice setup for an ABCD. So that is exactly the trick that I showed earlier. The one with the length. In this case, if we have an A, B, C that is 0.5, that is going to connect to about a 2.0. So that would be right over there. I'm going to put that 2.0 in the chart and then draw the TBFE1. That is going to be right there. It's not even really a box, but it is what it is. So that's our first area of interest. If we actually get this, we have a very good reason to short at on a downtrending chart. This looks really good. There's already an just made a higher low on the weekly chart. Assess that. Yeah, to be fair, you have a point. Yeah, you have a point. This is a really good candle to make higher low. Maybe get any of your chart feeders to look at. Oh wait, I can just carry this one. This is a really good point to make higher low at. So I have a point. When we take this initial kind of bullish order block that we had over here, let's take the bottom of that, take the wick. This looks really good. So yeah, I have a point. This could actually be a higher low. But I will say, this chart doesn't have a trend. This chart on a weekly is not uptrending or downtrend. So it is really hard to make judgments based off the weekly. Yeah, it's a McDonald's chart. Where is it? Do I have the marker? Yeah, I do. I know someone's gonna put these plays into the live stream channel. So they're just gonna be looking back in chat like, what on earth is that guy doing in the streams? Just gonna be just looking at it in the evening and just gonna be like, what is this guy doing, man? Okay, but yeah, you do have a very good point. You do have a very good point. In general, yeah, this could very well be the area to look for ILO. And this weekly close is really good. This weekly close is really bullish. So, yeah, you can make an argument for ILO. I absolutely can see that happening. In general, the rule I keep, and you know that, but I'm going to say it anyway. The rule I keep is I look for time frames about 4 times higher and 4 times lower. So when I look at the weekly like this, I would take this into consideration for daily type of plays. So for like a swing long, that I expect to take like a week or 2 weeks. I'm going to take on the daily. I'm going to base my stop loss on a week, on a daily, etc. When I look at a lower time frame, when I look at a 4 hour or a 1 hour in this case, I don't consider the weekly. Because in that case, I would only be longing. Because, well, the weekly on almost every chart is uptrending. Or at least on BTC, right? The weekly on almost every altcoin is downtrending. I would never be long in an altcoin. Even though there's a lot of opportunity there. So I keep it about 4 times higher, 4 times lower. And sometimes a bit more, like daily to weekly is like that's 7 times. But a 1 hour to a weekly would be way too much. A 1 hour to a weekly would be like 170 or something, or 160. So yeah, because our what's it called? Because our 4 hour is clearly downtrending. You can make an argument for this, kind of. I don't consider it, but you can make an argument for this. Because our 4 hour is downtrending, I'm looking for 1 hour shorts. Our 4 hours downtrending, our daily is downtrending. 1 hour shorts make a lot of sense. So for that reason, this is a really good area I'd look for shorts. Now, usually what I'd say is, hey, put your stop somewhere right over here. But there are so many wicks in this area. And I know this last one took a lot of shorts out. But this is not a strong reaction of that. There is a good chance that this actually didn't take any shorts out, because that is only a very slight bit above it. So I would not put my stop right above that. I would put it slightly higher. And that sacrifices risk to reward. But I think the chances of getting stopped out right at that wick are really, really high. So I would never do that. And then in general, I would probably just pull a fib. These are estimated TPs, right? I'm not sure if these are going to happen. I'm just pulling them up to that point, speculative. But in general, this is what I would look at then. These are the TPs. So I would either look for like, what's it called, a sweep. Let me make this one red. A sweep of this that reclaims, or just a really good reaction. That's what I would look at EMA. But I will say on the weekly, this chart looks good. That is a really good close. And also I will say, because I know today is really red at the end. I mean, we'll probably, well, BC almost red as well. But I know today is red at the end. The weekly chart on a lot of coins looks really good. You have this weekly candle on so many coins. For example, let's look at TIA. One of my favorites. This candle, a hammer candle like this, that just takes out a bunch of wicks. It didn't take this one out. I'm very I'm actually really sad that Tia didn't take this one out. But either way, a weekly candle that takes out wicks like this, and it manages to close as a green hammer candle like this looks really good. And candles like these indicate a strong rejection. So having this at very important levels is telling you, hey, this chart is looking for a reversal. Is that a valid entry on TLF? Do you mean the weekly close or something else? Because in general, I would say you can enter like this, but because this low got left intact, I'm very hesitant. This is why I didn't take it as a long, the spot play. This is why I only took the spot play as spot, because I don't like using soft stops. This would work as a long if you make it a soft stop on a daily close, but it wouldn't work with hard stops. This play doesn't make any sense with a hard stop. Now there are other coins that did take this low, right? Wait, let's spacebar a little. I didn't. If I didn't, Inus probably didn't either. It was JTL. JTL is just closing green. Did we? No, actually, there's not a lot of coins that took it. I mean, Aptos did it. Aptos took the lows. Aptos took this low and took this low. Looking at close as a rejection candle as well. Took that earlier. I mean, honestly, I do think it works. I do think the long works. I will say that. But I can't give it as a signal because I think the chance there's a significant chance that that the lows are gonna get wicked. I think someone like Aptos, like what I'm looking at right now, I think this looks better. However, as I said, I think the play does make a lot of sense, the TIA play. So I just took it with a daily close instead. Also, that's a really good entry. Nice. And yeah, it pains to say, but Orly looks really good too. There's a lot of really good coins out there. This weekly close is looking to be really good for a lot of coins. That's why, even though today is red, like it's ending red, the weekly looks good. Like the weekly looks really good on a lot of coins. So these individual closes matter a lot. I mean, just look at CRV, right? You take out this wick, you take out this wick, and you have this hammer close. STX broke today though. Don't want to see that. Okay. We had a suggestion for hype, and I think that was it. So, oh wait, we had hype in AR. Okay, I'm gonna look at hype in AR. I haven't looked at AR actually. I'm gonna look at AR first. I haven't looked. Wait, what does that coin do? What? What does that coin do it? It's just an up only mode. We only have 2 red candles and an entire sequence. It's just going up. Okay, yeah, this coin looks really good, and I'm really sad that I didn't have this on my list. I'm gonna put it on my list immediately. Because, as you can see, I like this. That is a really good reaction. Did we really just sweep the daily low and yeah, okay. AR looks really good. If we ever get a retest, this is absolutely a long. This is 100% a long. In general, maybe you get a retest on the top of that Guardly box. You can take a long like that. Yeah, I mean, okay, to be fair, the reason why is because I get the same suggestions over and over again. I got this AR suggestion so many times when this happened. Like every single stream, there were like 3 or 4 AR requests. It always happens. You know, the only reason why I'm not getting FTM requests is because no one looks at this coin anymore. Because it's renamed. Because it's called Sonic, and the ticker is not Sonic USDT, it's SUSDT. It's terrible. But yeah, this coin looks really good. In general, if you get a retest of this ever, I don't think we do, but if we do that, I think this is a really good area to enter along. But in general, I think this coin is just worth it to look at a higher time frame. And when looking at a higher time frame, what we see is something very, very textbook. I'm gonna actually just get the cheat sheet on the screen to show what I mean. Where is it? It is this one. The type 1 to type 2. Now, what is important to note here is that T1 is if you take a fib from A to D, essentially, you have 3 or 2 is T1. So what we see is, hey, we have this bullish harmonic right over here. We tap the initial area, go back up, tap TP1. That is your T1 right there. We go back down, sweep the lows, sweep up the lows, and now the second reaction should in theory fake you up to the 618. This is very, very textbook. This chart looks really good. Oh, I have ghost charted. I do. I think you're the reason why I have it charted. I don't know what layout I have it though. Probably on this one. I have it, I'm sure. I think I cleared it someday. That is so sad, but you're the reason I have it. I have charted that coin before. Because I know there's a shark on there. Yeah, I'm cooked. I know there's a shark on there. It's on the left. It's oh, couldn't paste, okay. I'll look at it after. I'm cooked. No, I thought I had a chart, but I don't. I am sure that I even sent you the chart. If you look in our DMs and you control F it, I'm sure I've sent you a chart. Okay, either way, so in theory, this chart should bring you up to the 618. And that's what I'm saying, like this chart looks very, very textbook. So on a higher time frame, I think if you like this coin, I think spot plays are really good. This coin looks really good for spot. And apart from that, for any longs, I think you can take them up pretty high. This is like a coin I would go into with a scalp to swing mindset. Because if you get a scalp off in this area, and you actually start leaving it, you can get really high. I really like this coin. Thanks for suggesting it. I like this. Okay, the reason why I said I have ghost charted is first of all because this is a coin by Alve. And I know that ignoring, I think this was a ghost wick. Hey, coin is called Ghost. Oh, it wasn't a shark, it was a cipher. Same thing. I remember this area. Take it up from the 2 for the cipher, just like that. Also, you were looking at this because of the sweep, right? Because I just noticed that. This chart looks really good. I mean, the chart is unbelievably ugly. I'm not sure if I would ever leverage trade this, but the chart looks good. We swept everything, and we're looking to close the weekly above. Let's look at this. Was eyeing it for a spot call? Yeah, it makes sense. This makes all sense, honestly. I think the chart looks good. I mean, you could literally even take a long here. I'm just someone that, whenever I see this, I ignore it for leverage. But if I were to ever take a long on this, it would be here. Absolutely. If this weekly closes like this, I would very blindly press long. Because this weekly close is really good. Also, isn't this by off? Why is this not going up if off is actually just going parabolic the entire time? It should be related in some sense, right? Yeah, that's why, like, it has to be related. Why is it not pairing at all? Okay, yeah, this coin is good. Honestly, if it closes like this, the liquidity is low on this one. Like the coin moves way, the wicks are low, etc. I wouldn't personally take this on leverage because there's a good chance you get wicked out. But you do have a really easy SFP play like that, at least to that high. Yeah, G mixes for ARB, right? G, if you really like ARB, by the way, if you really like Arbitrum, but you think, hey, I don't want to bid Arbitrum here, it doesn't make a lot of sense with it. This retest is really good, you can bid it here. GMX is really good. Where's my chart? Cooked. The second chart I don't have. Where is it? Gate or Maxida has it. Whatever. You have a shark on there, right? Yeah. That's a really nice shark. Yeah, this is like, I think it's Arbitrum's dex play. This chart looks really good. Just drawing a shark like that. So yeah, the chart reopen in chat is a really good one. I really like this chart. It's like related to ARB. Okay, last one was hype. Do that one and call it a day. First of all, I don't think we ever get this anymore. I mean, I said it as well when I drew this. I said, don't wait for this if you want an entry. Like, I'm not gonna answer until we get there. But don't wait for it. And we're probably not getting it. But, what's it called? I think it's finally time to clear this chart and look for new plays. Now, we have one very obvious M shape, W shape, and this one is almost a perfect bat. And this one, luckily for us, since it is a bat and since it is at a 0.5 right over there, that means we can play the BAM trigger. Let me draw it out manually because I will probably be trading this coin. So we have a very clean bat here. The ratios are very tight, so you can see that the actual PRZs are very small. This is a good thing. The smaller the PRZ, the better it is. Size does matter. It needs to be small. Now the second thing is that we are above this B point. We're currently trying to flip it into support. If we do manage to flip this into support, we can play something that is called a BAM trigger. And long story short, because I won't bore you with harmonic details, if you flip the B point of a bat, especially a 0.5 bat, to support, there's a really good chance you get the D point. Now, usually I would say you can only short your D point. This is an exception. When you flip the B point of a bat into support, you have significant reason to take that long. So if we get a proper flip like this, I would absolutely take the long up until that bat. I really like this chart in general. This chart is actually showing a lot of strength, right? I mean, that is not a secret. Hype looks really good. There's a lot of volume. Everyone's looking at this one. So, yeah, I like it. LDO moving nicely as well. It is. LDO is going to do the same thing that I just described. This isn't going up to the 0.5, I think. Oh, it is. My eyes are deceiving me. I thought it was like a 4.7. It's a 5.1. LDO is going to do the same thing. Probably. So same thing for LDO. Flip this to support, and I would look for longs. No, LDO is not an Arbitrum beta. I mean, maybe at this point, but LDO is Ethereum liquid staking. And this is security, which is a very important detail now because Ganosphere is gone. Grassity teaching so good I'm still awake at 2 a.m. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But you should go to sleep. Yeah, but yeah, either way, same thing for LDO. If you're waiting for an entry on LDO, I would wait for this to happen. I mean, it's really hard to enter, right? But in general, if you really want to enter, I would wait for that B point to be flipped into support. And then again, if we actually get here, I would short. Okay, that's truly the last one. I don't know how to say no. That is truly the last one. After Tau, no more suggestions. That's what we're gonna call it. Okay, so the reason I'm doing Tau is because I already have it. Tau is at a very important level. We have this bearish harmonic here. We have this bearish deep godly. Now this is a very wide PRZ. So I'm not necessarily looking at the deep godly, but it is there. What I do think is that this diagonal over here has been acting as a very important level every single time, and we're currently looking to reject it again. Now, we haven't rejected it fully, but we are seeing multiple bearish closes, so I don't think it holds. I mean, I think it holds. Tau needs to flip this level, or we get lower. Because rejecting this would likely mean we get the fan. Getting the fan would bring us below that B point. I don't like how this is looking. I really don't like it. Especially when you have such a high time frame range that you just break below casually and you start closing below. And you're now looking to retest it again. I don't like this at all. So in general, if you are in... It was along from 426, right? I think this is a good area to de-risk a little. And then if we drop below it, I would just get out. If we flip to support, you can maybe add it back in. Yeah, I can share the EFA chart. It's not a chart request, so it doesn't count. Oh, we share Tau as well. And there's the Tau chart. That's what I'm mostly looking for on the Tau. Oh, you're only a little late. That was the last chart of the session, Bad Illusion. Oh, sorry for that. Wait. Lower time frame. I mean, lower time frame, same thing. Because it's a very high time frame level, right? So lower time frame, you're gonna get the same thing. Oh, 786. That's the only ratio that could have saved you. Now this 113 is gonna get a 1618. Well, most likely. Okay, let's do this on a different one. You're so early, we're about to close. Yeah, you have a really clean pattern here. This is actually really nice. A 113 to a 1.618. Exactly. See, there's your 113 butterfly, and looking at the trend-based wave extension 1, here's your ABCD. So two options here. I would say either reject here on the ABCD or reject on the 131 butterfly. And this is in confluence what we just said on a higher time frame, right? On a higher time frame, there's a very important diagonal going right through here somewhere. Now, when we look at the lower time frames, this ABCD might just hold. This ABCD looks really good. Let me draw that one up as well. And the 113 butterfly also looks really good. So taking this to a 1272. Oh, 18CD. Okay. So this is what we do. Either of these levels could react, and I would look for shorts on both of them. Both would be conditional because this coin does look like it likes wick a lot. But I would consider both of these. And that is absolutely in confluence with what the higher time frames told us, right? Ooh, there's nothing there to base the stop on. Let's base it off the old liquidity zone over there. So yeah, something like this. Oh wait, let me actually both of these are based on a good reaction and not just line shorts. All right, now that is going to be it for today. I'm gonna head out and do absolutely nothing for the rest of the evening. But we might actually get some entries later, so I'll be on the charts again. All right, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks especially Bell Illusion for your amazing presence. I really appreciate that. No, thanks everyone for coming, and what's it called? I'll see you guys next week, and I will see some of you tomorrow. See some of my students in there. All right, I'm gonna end the recording as well, and I will see you guys later.